Good morning and welcome to Movement and Meditation. My name is Patton White and I am the Artistic and Administrative Director of Beacon Dance, and we are headquartered in the B Complex, which is an artist-owned and operated cooperative in the Capitol View neighborhood of Southwest Atlanta. And we are going to be focusing our attention this week on energy specifically. And to do this, we are going to be utilizing a lot of, I'll amend that ever so slightly. We will be using Qigong movements as a source of inspiration. And then we're going to, like I said, use that as a source of inspiration to begin to find some other means of creative expression. And so everything's grounded in that place of shifting energy around, which is what Qigong is all about, and finding how we can encourage that energetic flow and to keep moving it around our bodies. So with that in mind, I'm going to move to standing, and so I invite you to either stand with me, or if you would prefer to be seated, just find how you can adapt these movements for yourself. So let's get started. All right, so as promised, I'm going to be standing, and I am going to start off with my feet directly beneath my hip sockets, and my weight evenly distributed throughout both the front. If we think of the feet as front, back, so towards the toes, towards the heels, and then the insides and the outsides of the feet. So I want to feel fully grounded if we are on our feet, on all surfaces of the feet. If you are seated, just really feel that same sense of grounding with your sits bones and the very tops of the thighs, the glutes, all of that just really weighted and grounded. And we're going to begin with placing our hands on our lower dantian. This is the region in Qigong. This is our primary energy pool, or our reservoir, and it's just below the belly button, slightly in front of the spine. And we're going to draw our attention to our breath and really breathe in by expanding the lower dantian, and then as we exhale, pressing that the belly button back towards the spine. So we expand as we inhale, and we press again the belly button back towards the spine as we exhale. And one more time, inhale, expanding, and exhale. And now we're going to move into this action of reaching out, giving ourselves a bit of a chi shower. So bringing energy out from the fingertips, drawing the chi, the energy down from the heavens into our bodies, and to all different parts of the body. So we are energizing the bones and all the way into the bone marrow with this. So bringing energy, sending energy out, drawing it down into the body, into the lower dantian. And our knees are slightly softened. So we're trying not to lock the knees into place. Our Legs are for the most part stretched or straightened. And one more of these, but it's a soft stretch. It's not anything terribly extreme. So now I'm going to step a little bit wider, about shoulder width with my feet. If you're seated, again, sense that idea of expanding out towards our sides. And we're going to move into knocking on the door of life. So this idea of twisting in the upper spine, and our energy flow is now moving up and down the spine. And the knocking that's happening, especially with the arm that's swinging or tasseling into the back space, it's knocking on our kidneys. So bringing our awareness to this point, or these points of our water element. And with my head, I'm intentionally taking a look, scanning the space. Let's continue this as we move the front arm to knock up on the lungs, stimulating the lungs and the heart, and the back arm still stimulating the kidneys. And now we're going to take this one more step and look all the way over our shoulders. We take that front hand up to the shoulder. Couple more, and slowly coming back to the center. And with each of these, we're going to take a moment after we've done them to just notice, how has our energy shifted or changed? Whatever that means for you. I'm going to bring my feet just a little bit closer in, almost directly underneath my sits bones or pelvis again, as we go into our spinal cord breathing. And with all of this, we're really trying to develop or to help balance our energy throughout the body. So our spinal cord breathing starts with taking the elbows into the back space, opening in the sternum and the lungs as we inhale, and then curving the spine forward, taking the elbows to the front space, opening up the sense of the back as we exhale. And again, inhaling and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We're going to try a few more, but a little faster. So we're increasing the speed. And whatever your range of motion can be, one more, and releasing. And again, taking a moment just to check in, see how the energy has rebalanced itself again as we move into spread the feathers. So we're going to begin by pressing both of our arms out to the side, really feeling on the underneath side of the arm, the energy flowing out through the palm, and feeling on the opposite side, the fingertips pulling back towards the shoulders. So there's an energetic flow going this way. So we have this circular feeling of energy out through the armpits, up over the tops of the fingers, in towards the shoulder with our energy. So we have spread the feathers, and now we're going to take our head and let's drop it first over to the left side. So left ear towards shoulder, and we roll the head forward. And we roll it back through the center and then to the back. And center. And again, forward. Breathing in and exhale as we roll it back. Let's do one more on this side. And exhale, feeling that energetic flow, coming back to the center, taking the head up and over to the right side this time. If you need to release with the arms and take a break for a second, do so, but quickly so that you can get back into the spread the feathers position or pose, and then taking the head first, rolling to the front, inhaling, and then exhaling as we take it to the back and center, and bringing the head back up, releasing the arms down, taking a moment. You probably, if you're like me, you really feel a serious energy flow in the arms. Now we're going to take the wrists as we create these little pointed positions with our arms. Then we roll the inside of the arms up. So now we have this opposite sense of down and up. So down the top side, up the underneath side into the armpits. Feeling that energy flow. And again, taking the head over to the side and rolling forward as we inhale and center, and exhaling to the back. And again, inhaling forward. And exhale to the back. And one last one, forwards. And to the back. And center, coming up and over again, trying to continue with this, keeping the energy flow going. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. And back to the center, head comes up, and we release the arms down. And again, feeling how your arms, how the muscles, how the bones, how the bone marrow in the arms, in the rib cage, in the shoulder girdle, how all of that is shifting and changing as we continue with this. So now we're going to just let all of our joints, and we want to really feel this all up and down the spine as we move into shake the tree. And so if we just think of our entire, from the top of our head down into the feet, just this huge oak tree or magnolia or pecan, whatever kind of tree you want to feel like being today. And we're just shaking. Maybe if you're a pecan tree, as you're shaking, all of those nuts are falling to the ground, releasing out of their husks. And somebody's going to run around and pick them all up, like I've been doing over the past several weeks, seeing pecans lying on the ground underneath trees, picking them up so that I can at some point in the future crack them open and have a delicious pecan. Pecans, I have to say, are probably my favorite nut. besides myself as a nut. Anyway, so releasing as we shake the tree, all of our joints. So we're returning, if you recall, to, in our body-mind centering work, this idea of the synovial fluid. So letting all of the joints just completely lubricate up and get the synovial fluid stimulating. Now I'm going to take my thumbs and place them right here, just above the pelvis in the back, feeling those big muscles as we go into just doing some hip circles. And as I press my pelvis forward, I'm really pressing with the thumbs into those muscles at the base of the spine. So, well, on either side of the spine, I should say. And this is also another way for us to be activating the synovial fluids in our pelvis. Let's go the opposite direction now. So we're not only finding an energy flow and rebalancing, but also our fluids, which we can think of as part of our energetic state. We usually think of energy as being electricity, like our nervous system, but we can also find energy in our fluids. And let's come back to the center, and now I'm going to give myself a little bit of a Qi massage by knocking on the outs. Actually, let's start with the pelvis itself. Round to the glutes, and then to the sides, and then we're going to knock down the outsides of our legs with those closed fists, cross the tops of the feet up the insides of the legs, around to the back, again to the glutes, the sits bones, down the back sides of the legs, around the knees, just a little bit of a knock at the knee, behind the knee, and then down the calves. And then again up the insides of the legs. And then we're going to do a little bit of a drum detox right here at what we call the gates, which is where the legs enter into the pelvis. Just a little bit of a rhythmic. This, again, going back to our fluid system and body-mind centering, this is finding a connection to our arterial blood flow. That regular, rhythmic pumping action. And now let's go into opening and closing. So we have closing the fists, opening the fists, still at this area of the gates to stimulate all of our... actually, this is an area where we have a lot of lymph glands, and so we are stimulating our lymph fluids as well. The lymph fluids being what we were focusing on this past week. And let's come to the end of that. And now we're going to just knock in the lower dantian region. So again, around that energetic well, if you will. And then take it up here to our liver, which is on our right side, just beneath the rib cage, giving a little detox or wake up to the liver, and then over to the spleen on the opposite side where the stomach is as well. And then up to our heart and lungs in the chest area. Take a moment to do some sounding with me as we listen to. So just breathe in and let it go. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And now we're going to open up the arm and hand and begin to slap down the inside, so our energy meridian of the arm, and up the outside. And let's do that one more time. Slapping down the inside and up the outside, getting that flow going, and then switch to the opposite side. Down the inside and up the outside. Balancing our energy. And now we're going to move into, it's a similar pattern that we've already done, but this yin massage starts with reaching out up above the head and then brushing down the back side of the skull, allowing the arms to come across the front of the throat. Backs of the hands come together as we come down the front side of the torso, around to the sides of the legs, across the top of the feet, up the insides of the legs into the lower dantian with a circling action. And once again, reaching out, arms coming together, brushing down the back side of the head, the neck to the front of the neck, backs of the hands coming together, down the sternum, around to the kidneys, down the sides of the legs, across the tops of the feet, the ankles, up the insides of the legs, and one more time, 3 circles. If you ever find yourself just needing a little bit of an energy boost, just that yin massage is a really nice way to make that happen. I need to check real quick. Where are we? Okay, good. So we're going to go into our flow series. So starting with an opening of the flow. So backs of the hands, draw the arms up, and then we press the energy back down. And as the arms go up, our pelvis sinks back ever so slightly, and then pressing forward with the pelvis. So we have this opposition happening with the arms and the torso, the pelvis moving away, creating this sense of space here, and then we press into that space. And let's do that one more time. Flowing and pressing. And now let's go right into our expanding the flow. So we come in with the arms, the hands, pressing straight forward and back in, and then lower down. And watching the hands as we do all of this. And in, and press, and in, and pressing down. Feeling the energy shifting around in space, pressing away, pulling in, pressing down, manipulating all of these energy meridians, and now opening to the 6 directions and pressing and in, and pressing out to the sides and in, and lowering down. And again, 1 and 2 and 3 and release. Last one. and in, and press, and in, and pressing out to the sides, and coming back to the center, and pressing down. And now we're going to go right into the fountain, and so bringing energy out or up through the earth into the body, up through the center, out through the fingertips, gathering up and expand, gather up and release. And one more. And releasing, and now we're going to reverse that as we come in and shift ever so slightly from one side to the other, allowing one leg to bend, the other leg to stretch, and again in, and in, and one last set, in, and in, and releasing down. And now let's take a moment to press again once again with our arms, our hands in our lower Dantian region. Breathing in and out. And now let's go into our embrace the tree pose. So really finding this sense of an expansive embrace. And we're finding the energy lifting up the elbows on the underneath sides of the arms. The fingertips just releasing energy down towards each other. So we have almost a sense of a circular flow that's coming from the spine around to the fingertips, and they continue past each other. So that's this energy that's just constantly spiraling around the body. Inhaling and exhaling. And this is such a great position to just find, if you want to just meditate at some point, if you feel like you need to release the outside world, finding you're embracing the tree pose, become a true tree hugger. And let's slowly lower the arms, and we'll come back together to finish up for today. So our focus again this week is on energy, and allowing our energy to shift, to flow, to move, to whatever. And our story circle on Wednesday this week is going to be to share a story about a time that you felt energized or energetic, whatever that means to you. And then on Friday we'll revisit a lot of this. We'll do much of what we did with our Qigong work today. We may insert another one or two different exercises that we didn't get to today. Energy as we approach the a week from today will be our winter solstice, as we approach that time where energy is going to start coming back, or it will feel that way as days get longer. Thank you again to Fulton County Board of Commissioners for helping to fund this. Thank you so much to all of our individual contributors who gave magnanimously earlier this month on Giving Tuesday. We only have about 2 more weeks of our regular classes before we shift into a different arrangement of classes as we go into the new year. So we'll finish out in December with this series and start something new in January. Thanks so much for being with us today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.